All right, we're gonna talk about NSFW VR chat content creators. I've never seen such a sad archetype of human being in my goddamn life. Now, this isn't to say that all of them are scum or garbage or annoying or pathetic or lazy or just individuals with no redeemable qualities. This is to say that most of them are, because you get that one occasional content creator that makes porn on VR chat, and they're like a genuine person or someone of interest, and they're not a bad individual, right? Their vibe overall. But then you get the mentally ill VR chat player that you would expect to run into when you get on VR chat. It just so happens that they have 5,000 followers on Twitter, which is a niche platform, and they're VR chat content creator, which is another niche in itself, right? So there's also that, right? Um, I've dealt with quite the number of VR chat content creators at this point. Small, not big. I won't say big because holy fuck, there's not really a lot of big ones. You know what I mean? And unless you consider 5,000 big, I don't consider that really big. I consider big like 50K. All right. Or like 10K, 10K, 50K, somewhere near that number. Right. I believe like as a reference point, you want to go with what's his fucking name? Sarah or something, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't care. Some cheetah like pattern content creator. Maple Syrup. I think that's his fucking name. That is a person I consider pretty goddamn popular, right? A motherfucker that's actually pretty goddamn famous or successful in his little critique or his little niche. 5,000 is getting there. 1,000 is kind of starting off, and then anything below that is just someone fucking around but claiming that they're big. The menagerie that I usually deal with is the people between the 5,000 and below range. So a few, and I've come to the same conclusion I always come to when it comes to them. For the most part, they have so many underlying issues and problems with themselves or the world around them, but just cannot speak on it. So they fill the void with sexual conduct as the majority of their personality. And as I said in a previous video, when your personality is only one thing, right? It's based around one specific characteristic. That is bad. You cannot be an asshole all the fucking time, all right? You can't be logical all the fucking time. You can't be emotional all the fucking time, right? You can't be sexual all the time, right? You got to pick and choose, because that's how human beings work, baby girl, right? The problem is that VR chat content creators are surrounded by fucking, well, mentally ill people while being sometimes mentally fucking ill. So, that's one little mix or dynamic that could definitely go south, not gonna lie, right? In my case, I'm a person that likes to just say shit how it is. If you ask like a close friend, hell, maybe even an enemy, all right, if I say things that come to head, even if they think I'm delusional when I say it, or an asshole if I do, they'll definitely respond with a yeah, he'll say it. Right, there's not many times where I'm like, oh, I can't say this to him. I can't do it. The conflict, it's too much. I don't usually do that. Usually I just say it. Even if the person ends up hating me or not hating me, I just say it. So that's one thing I can say that both sides of the spectrum of people I deal with or people that have dealt with me, right, will definitely agree to. He does say whatever he's thinking, even if it may get him hated, right? It doesn't matter if you're a content creator or not. If I fucking know your ass and I consider your ass a friend, all right, or try to become your friend, meaning that your ass is being analyzed, you're under critique until I fucking decide that you ain't, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna just say whatever the fuck is coming to mind. So, just how it fucking works. That's how it's always worked. And every time I usually point this shit out, it could be something very blatant or something that requires a little bit more analyzing or critical thinking. I get the same fucking response, which is a very defensive or aggressive response of, what the fuck do you mean? For instance, as an example, I was dealing with a specific content creator. They're a Mama Jen. Name rhymes with Oogie, right? And he came into my little chat. I invited him to my server. He came into my chat. Someone in the chat is someone he fucked. So he starts describing how they fucked. A very passing thing. It wasn't a very long thing. I would say it was like at best maybe 5 seconds. Right? And this was off of 2 days of knowing him. Right? And then he leaves to go be in VR chat, right? As one will do. Right? So I hit him up. I'm like, hey, man, I would prefer for you not to, say that type of shit or describe how you fuck people inside of my chat, unless the time calls for it. Because sometimes the adults just go off and they start just talking about the most grimiest of fucking fucking bedroom play. But the response I got was piss off, right? And I'm just sexual. This is how I am. Now, I understand that a person can be how they are. Hell, I'm an asshole. That's just how I am. However, everything has an exception, and you have to pick and choose. And ultimately, you being how you are is not going to make another person be like, "Oh shit, for real? Fine. I guess I'll just work around that." They may try, but ultimately, if they don't like it, they're just not going. They're not going to try, right? They're going to give up. So I just unadded him on the spot. I unadded him on the spot. Simple as shit. Unadded him, kicked him from my fucking server. Said it is what it is. Fair enough, right? But the people that were in the chat were also people trying to deal with content creation, right? Ass kissed immediately. There are a lot of fucking people like that in VRchat. When they're VRchat content creators, they usually are ass kissers. Like legit, if you're a fucking VRchat NSFW content creator, this means that your niche solely relies on you making connections, right? So you can't really verbalize your complaints with certain things. Like if you don't like a person's personality, but their avatar just so happens to have the biggest of titties, right? You can't really vocalize that you don't fuck with them mentally. So you just are like, whatever, fine. I just won't think about it, right? Because that's how most content creators go about it. That's how most people in VRchat go about it. They want to deal with the drama, so they're like, fuck it, I'll just deal with whatever issues there is. And if I don't fuck with it, I just won't say anything, but I'll drift off, right? I'll back the fuck up. I think that's a pretty weak approach, but my approach is not the only approach. Therefore, it's not the correct one, right? It's just my approach. And I view it as correct, right? Well, for me, in specific me. But yes, most people who are dealing with VRchat content creators in such a way, usually, from what I've seen, personal opinion, are usually just ass kissing. They're not really trying to figure out who they're dealing with. They don't really give a fuck about their mentality, right? If they're not down to do the dirty, if they're not down to actually, get crazy, right? Fucking just boom, 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 right? If they're not willing to do that at the very fucking base of it, then they don't want to deal with that said content creator, because now you're getting too fucking real in a game where people are trying to be fake, right? And this is to say that it's kind of sad. Imagine not being able to vocalize your thoughts because you're afraid of your image being fucking scarred in a community where people are already fucking losers half the time. And that's why I felt the need to talk about VRchat NSFW content creators today. Because, man, some of them are the most lazy, inconsiderate, bullheaded, narcissistic, egotistical, manipulative fuckheads I have ever seen in my goddamn life. And they're surrounded by ass kissers, clout chasers, and individuals that can't even be honest with themselves. So they're filling it with a void of somebody else. All right? If you don't agree, fair enough. If you do agree, fair enough. All right? And if you're offended, it means that whatever the fuck I just said directly applies to you. Or you're a little bit too sympathetic, or you're just empathetic or sympathetic in general. All right? Or you know a content creator. By the way, once again, I'll say this because people love to forget shit because they're, at least on this game, they have the worst fucking memory to goddamn mind. All right? Everything I'm saying is to be taken with a grain of salt, okay? I'm not telling a fucking factoid, alright? I'm not writing a fucking commandment. It's an opinion. If you don't like it, fair enough. Move the fuck on. Disagree. Go from there, baby girl, okay? I'll see you around. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.